I've got a premonition, I'm dreaming you and I. All my darkest fears are coming outside. We got a billion races, we got this melody.
Hey you guys, welcome back to Perfume Vegas. I'm Holly Golightly and I'm happy to have you here. If you enjoy this video and like my content, make sure to like this video and subscribe before you go. I would love it if you'd also turn on notifications so you can be notified whenever I upload. With that intro out of the way, let's move on to the video. Today's video is fun. It's a fun one. A while ago, a good time ago, like some time ago, I placed an order from Luckyscent, and of course they ask you, you can have some sample requests. And so I requested if I could have some fragrances that were, I requested to have tobacco heavy fragrances that leaned feminine, that were more on the feminine side. Not because I have any problems with masculine or unisex, gender neutral type of fragrances, but because tobacco fragrances tend to already be either gender neutral or leaning masculine. I wanted to see what Luckyscent thought was a more feminine leaning tobacco fragrance. So I got 4 samples with my purchase, and we're going to test them today. So as I pull each one out, I'll tell you what it is. I have only tried one of them, only because I was so excited to try it. It's definitely one that's on my wish list to buy. So the other 3 I have not even sniffed yet. So without further ado, let's start with the one that I have tried. Let me just find it. Here it is. One that I did try on my skin already is Perfumed Empire Tabac Taboo. And I've mentioned this in perfume wishlist videos. I've mentioned Perfumed Empire in other niche fragrance videos. I have one of their fragrances, Rouge, and I really like the brand. I really like their concept, and I really like the quality of their fragrances. So I have tried this one on my skin already, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna give it a go using this little hack. I'm so afraid I'm gonna spill. And now it's jammed in there. Okay, that's not coming out. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So Tabac Taboo is a tobacco scent, but it also has honey and it also has hay notes present. It's a very grassy, warm, animalic fragrance. Now, I'm spraying these on my skin, so I don't want to mix it too much. One thing I did read I'm not sure if I read it on Luckyscent or if I read it on the Perfumed Empire website, but Tabac Taboo is reformulated every year. So I do believe this is the 2020 formulation that is in stock still. It's quite a clean, warm, grassy fragrance. Honey and tobacco make it very sweet and kind of rich. It gives you that like flavorful feeling. But there's something animalic as well. It's definitely got a slight barnyard scent. Because of that, this probably is not one that would be for everyone, and definitely would be like a sample before you purchase it type of thing. But I absolutely love this, and just testing it makes me want to get this fragrance in my collection even more. If you see jumps from here on out, I had to take the time to clean out my little nozzle, and it took a little bit longer than I expected, so I'll probably pause it for that. So anyway, that was Tabac Taboo from Perfumed Empire. Very highly recommended brand, but definitely sample maybe before you buy. The next one has a beautiful juice. Oh my goodness. This is TSVGA Perfumes, A Man and His Pipe. This is another one that is on my wish list, and I really want to hope, I really want to like it. So here goes. Just gonna put it on the back of my hand first. Ooh. I don't want to like overflow it. Oh shoot. So TSVGA Perfumes doesn't have many scents on Luckyscent's website. Oh my god. I leaked it out because I made a mess. It smells so good. This fragrance has clearly, to my nose, a pipe tobacco scent, a fragrance of chocolate, really rich chocolatey note. There's something creamy, maybe a sandalwood or other wood note here. And then just a very rich, deep tobacco note. For all 4 of these, I'll list all the notes down below, but this is just my first impressions of these. This is definitely feminine leaning. It's definitely gourmand leaning. It has that prominent tobacco note still, but it's definitely vastly different than the tobacco note in Tabac Taboo. This one is dark, deep, creamy, and sweet, whereas Tabac Taboo was dry, sweet, but in a different way, and animalic. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. So this, again, it's TSVGA Perfumes. The scent is A Man in His Pipe. This one I think you could blind buy safely. If you already know that you like chocolate, pipe tobacco, gourmand type fragrances, I think you could safely purchase this and enjoy it. That's really pretty. Luckyscent always has the best taste. Whenever I request something specific, like just a note, what they choose is always great. And I know it's probably because it's like the popular things, but it's always really good. So that's really nice. I might have to decant the rest of that into a little spray bottle because, yeah, I quite like it. I like it a lot. All right, so 2 more. I have from Faden Perfumes. I've not ever heard of the brand. Well, yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of the brand. Never tried anything from them. And this is Tabac Rouge. So Faden Tabac Rouge. It's a little spicy, a little smoky. This one is too full for me to put in a spray vial as well, so note to yourselves, if you want full sample vials from Luckyscent, spend a lot of money there. Ooh, this is very feminine leaning. It's probably the most feminine of all 3 so far, whereas the other 2, A Man in His Pipe and Tabac Taboo, could be unisex or masculine even. This is definitely leaning far feminine. It's smoky and spicy. It has a red spicy quality. There may be cinnamon, there may be cardamom, there may be something that's giving it this like red spice scent to my nose. There's a darker spice, maybe like a black pepper, an incense, or some resin. Nutmeg, maybe clove. It could definitely be clove. Yeah, I would say black pepper or clove, maybe. Some resins, and then a very faint wisp of tobacco. This feels like a boudoir scent. Yeah, this is a really pretty scent. I mean, it's not a manly or like manly or anything at all. Like, absolutely, you know, anyone can wear anything. But there's definitely fragrances that when I smell them, I'm like, whoa, manly. And there's definitely fragrances when I smell them, I'm like, oh, pretty, feminine. And that is this, for sure. I bet it would smell amazing, though, on a man. It has that quality, that transformative quality, that I imagine if you put it, like if you're a woman wearing it, you smell feminine and beautiful and sexy, womanly. But if you put it on a man, it's probably like, oh, whoa. So yeah, it's definitely spicy, incensey, resinous, and the tobacco is not as strong as the other two. It's definitely not as prominent, but it feels like a lady's tobacco scent. I really like this. This is really full too. I might have to decant this as well. So that was Faden Tabac Rouge. Gorgeous. Luckyscent killing it. 3 for 3 out of 3 so far. And then the last fragrance that I have is by the brand Koki Koki, and it's just tobacco. I believe I've seen this brand before, but I can't think of any fragrances from them like right out of the gate, so. Wow. This is completely different than the other 3 as well. It's amazing. This is why I like to ask for just a single note, because it's amazing how many ways a fragrance note can be interpreted. This one's not quite as full. I could have probably sprayed this one, but it's amazing how many different ways a single fragrance note can be interpreted. So this is just Koki Koki tobacco. This is a fresh tobacco. And by fresh, I mean it feels like aquatic almost. It's very cooling. Citrusy, but not like in a juicy citrus. This is the most masculine leaning of the 4. If the last one by Faden, Tabac Rouge, was the most feminine, Koki Koki Tobacco is the most masculine leaning. Definitely still unisex, definitely still unisex, definitely a woman could wear. This is beautiful. This reminds me of something though. This one is maybe slightly less unique than the other 3. There's a designer element to it. It does have a feeling of some designer freshies type of fragrances, masculine freshy type scents, something with tobacco in it. I really like the scent, but I don't think this is probably unique enough to pay more than a designer price point for it. But it's super pretty. If you want a scent that is light and probably quite easy to wear, quite crowd pleasing, but also it has that note of tobacco. It's not hugely prominent, but as it's warming up on my skin, the sweet tobacco note is growing more prominent. So this one is probably a grower, not a shower. So, yeah, let me give it a while, or give it a moment, and I will come back and let's see how it develops. Okay, so I've had it on my skin for a little while now, and it's the Koki Koki Tobacco. It's definitely, seems a little finicky. It's a pretty scent, but it doesn't last as long. The top notes faded quite a bit. The tobacco did come up interestingly. Like, I had it on the side of my hand here, and I had it on my arm here. The side of my hand where it's quite a bit warmer, the tobacco came up very quickly, and it was a very warm, rich tobacco note, and then it's still there. It's tobacco with like a slight hint of some sort of citrus, perhaps bergamot or something neroli, something fresh. But I put it some on my arm as well to have an easier place to sniff it. And here on my arm, it smells just like a fresh aquatic type of scent. There isn't a real heavy tobacco presence, which is not a bad thing, especially if you're looking for something that is just tobacco light, that you like the note, but you don't want it to be the dominant note. That one might be for you. So that was Koki Koki Tobacco. You're not going to be able to see the writing. while I was waiting, I decanted the TSVGA one into a little decanter, and it totally went everywhere because I'm quite awful at decanting. Anyway, those were the 4 tobacco scents those were the 4 tobacco scents that Luckyscent had for me in my last order to sample. Let me know, is there any of these that you've tried? Is there any that you've heard of and want to try? How do you like tobacco as a note? Anything interest you? I honestly don't know other places that you can buy any of these, except for Perfumed Empire can also be purchased from their own website, which may or may not ship to the US. I don't think they do, actually. But I think occasionally they also pop up on the gray market sites. Not often, but sometimes. As for the other 3, TSVGA, I'm assuming, is that even what's called? My goodness. As for the other 3, the TSVGA Perfumes, I don't know where you would purchase that beyond Luckyscent or probably their own website, but I have heard of it. They're in my wish list. And Faden and Koki are totally new to me, so I'm definitely going to be exploring the brand Faden a little bit more, because this Tabac Rouge is gorgeous and I really am interested in that. And then Koki has a very unique feel to it. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you on the next one, and have a wonderful evening or day or afternoon. Mwah. Bye.
We're running in the jungle of love.